let's get into this. Alex Becker, let's look at some of his tweets and see what he says about hopping into this crypto market. All right, went on his Twitter page right here, and what we were just looking at is Neo Tokyo. As you know, he talks about that a lot. Okay, so anyway, so the question is, when do we get into the crypto market? Has it bottomed yet? Is this the time to buy in, or do we wait thinking that it's going to dump even harder soon? Okay, so here's what he has to say about it. So yes, he's talking about a lot of things right now. Okay. Buy the dip. Okay, 7 hours ago, today being June 11th, 2022, Saturday. 7 hours ago, buy the dip. Okay, just puts that out there. It's a puppy's face, vibes, a lot of things. Okay. Let's see. I almost always exclusively follow traders on CT that nailed the bottoms, dumps, and peaks and tops of the last bull run. Okay. Every single one, without fail, was savagely harassed and mocked when they called the tops and bottoms. Okay. So how do you feel right now? Seriously, how do you feel? Do you know what it really feels like and looks like to see a bottom in the market or a top in the market? Okay. And then he writes down here on June 10th, remember, popular opinion will always be the most positive negative at exactly the wrong moment. Exactly the wrong moment. So in other words, right now, if this is a true bottom, people are probably saying things like, oh, it's going to go, it's going to go lower. I told you not to get into crypto. You lost your money, or you're going to lose money. Look at it. It's going down. So everything will go down to zero. So that would be a very negative thing, right? But that could also be a signal to buy in. Yeah, seriously, to buy in. And a lot of Wall Street traders, that's what they do. They hope to buy people who are going to buy the stock from people who are getting shaken out of the market, shaken out. They're getting scared to death. And so they panic sell out of it. And then the strong investors will buy. They'll buy. And they know when everybody's panicking, they buy. When everybody's euphoric, they sell. All right. And that's what this means. Remember, popular opinion will always be the most positive or negative at the exactly wrong moment. So think about that. Okay, now we'll just move on. Another one, June 10th. Where was all the doom and gloom when stock prices were 2 to 5x what they currently are? Shouldn't that have been the time to actually have max fear? Max fear? Yeah, why is he saying that? Because it turned around. It turned around and dumped. But yes, now that Cardi B has called the recession, now it's time to finally be cautious. Now? Really? We've been cautious for a while. So here we go down here, a little chart. So in my opinion, we either have one of these two X's, one X, an X, or an X. Okay. The top, aka the most dangerous point, is 100% in. I'm waiting for I am waiting for one more leg down, probably sub 25,000 Bitcoin, to start DCA in. So dollar cost averaging in, easier for me to say it like that. So he's waiting for one more leg down in Bitcoin. So for Bitcoin to break through 25,000, he's going to start to buy a little bit of crypto then. I don't know how much that will be, but it'll be, he won't ape in, go 100% of his portfolio in. He's going to just take a chunk, bite some, buy a bit. So, however, even if you bought at those X's, your time to break even and make profits wasn't too bad. And what? Okay. And paid off big time long term, the red lines. Okay. Most important, though, is the masses of euphoric at the time when we should have been at max fear. And that's what I was just saying. When it's really up high, everybody's happy. Everybody thinks it's going to go on forever. But the big guys in crypto, the big guys on Wall Street, the Jim Cramers, they were selling off their Bitcoin on the way up. They weren't telling you they were doing it. They were doing it, taking chunks off. And how I know that? He said it on CNBC after it peaked and started going in. Then he's like saying, yeah, well, I was selling on the way up. Nice. I paid off the rest of a mortgage. Cool, Jim Cramer. That's how these guys work. They're going to sell off when everybody's happy and buying, and they're going to buy when everybody is scared to death. Rinse, repeat. That's why I listen to Alex Becker. You can say what you want about him, but the guy has nailed it, and he admits it. He's not always right, but I'll tell you right now, he's not always wrong either. And trading can be learned. It can be learned. So I'm listening to him, I'm watching him, and like I said, personally, I think we're not at the bottom, and it might be a little bit longer till we actually hit that bottom. So I'm not going to get into what he talks about with the housing market because I just wanted to look at the crypto market now. So that's what he's predicting. I'm going to jump over here. Just bear with me. Billionaire Mike Novogratz expects next crypto cycle to start by Q4 2022. So Alex Becker, if I have to kind of read between the lines, is going to start to dollar cost average in if Bitcoin pulls back in at 25K, which could be in June. It could happen. It might not stay there long, but it could happen. This guy over here is thinking that the crypto cycle will start in Q4. So that would be October, November, December. Whereas Alex is about ready to, dip a toe in the water if and only if Bitcoin hits 25K. So we're in a range of between June, July, August, September, 4 months spread between, once Bitcoin hits 25,000, according to Alex, this guy here is saying October, November, December, it's going to start up again. So we're getting close. So this guy here, he's somebody special, and he is the chief operating officer of crypto investment firm glxy Digital. glxy Digital, someone you could probably listen to. Okay, so he has predicted that in order for the cryptocurrency market to recover, the Federal Reserve will need to back down. I agree. Those guys aren't just keeping crypto down, they're keeping Wall Street down, everything. And, hiking up inflation rates, interest rates, just making things go crazy. I mean, yeah, okay, I don't want to start with oil. Okay. All right. Speaking at the Consensus 2022 conference in Texas, he said Bitcoin is not going to trade well until the Federal Reserve flinches and takes its foot off of the brake. I agree again. So according to Novogratz, the most popular digital asset, Bitcoin, in the world would also find a bottom. Will find a bottom before the equities markets in the United States. CoinDesk reported on June 10th, 2022. All right, so I'm going to repeat that. So according to him, he's saying Bitcoin would find its bottom before the equities markets in the United States. So Bitcoin will bottom, start to either go sideways or go up a little bit, but the stock markets will still go down. And then they'll finally bottom and start to go up. So Bitcoin will float to the surface faster than the stock exchange. That's what he's saying. So here it is in a nutshell. My hope is that by the fourth quarter of 2022, the economy will be slowing enough that the feds say we are going to pause. And then you will see the next crypto cycle start. Then Bitcoin will break from equities and lead the markets. All right, I'm going to put both of these things in my description below, a link to Alex's Twitter page and a link to Finbold's cryptocurrency news article right here. So if you have not done so already, please subscribe to Crypto Housewife. I love crypto. I love talking about it. I have some crypto. I can't, I just can't get enough of it, right? So subscribe, like my videos, and remember, none of this is financial advice. Nobody here can predict exactly when the next crypto cycle is going to start. But these two guys, Alex and Mike, are at least within a similar range between 4 and 6 months. Where, well, not 4, Alex is saying he will buy a bit when Bitcoin bottoms to 25,000. And this guy's saying by a date. He's saying Q4, we should see the crypto cycle start up. So at least we have some positive news for 2022 there. So again, don't risk more than you can afford to lose. We have not bottomed yet. We're still, wondering, when it will. And none of this financial advice. Nobody has a crystal ball here, but at least this is some positive news with some ideas of what is to come for Bitcoin and crypto in general. So have a good day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.